With 90s culture coming back around, including fashion and music, it seems fitting that a big 90s fragrance brand would try to release something brand new in 2024. Grab yourself a cold one and welcome back to Hops and Whiffs. Welcome back to Hops and Whiffs. So thank you again for joining me. Really do appreciate your likes and your subscribes. So do continue to like my videos. Do tell your friends, get them to subscribe as well. And do write in the comments suggestions on what I can review next, beers or fragrances, or even anything you'd like to see in the channel. Okay, so today's beer is a Brewdog Post-Punk Tropical IPA. Now it comes in at 5.4%, so it's about standard percentage wise. Funky can. Let's give it a go. Smells tropical enough. Yeah, very tropical, very fruity. Doesn't taste that bad actually. It initially starts to taste really sweet, but the sweetness goes quite quickly and it's quite a refreshing taste. Yeah, I like that. Not too bad at all. So that's Brewdog's Post-Punk Tropical IPA. We'll come back to that later. Now, talking about 90s pop culture, fashion, music coming back around, it hasn't gone unnoticed that a massive fragrance brand, Issey Miyake, that released its first male fragrance in 1994 with Low Dizzy, has decided to bring out a brand new fragrance. Now, I saw online a little tester from Issey Miyake on, I think it was Instagram, so I filled out a form and fair enough, they sent me a little sample. And here it is. This is the brand new 2024 Le Sel d'Issey. Now, first thing I notice about this, if I can show you the bottle, if you can see that in focus, it's a little bit different to what we're used to with Issey Miyake. Now, Issey Miyake, in my head, has always had that shape of a bottle. From the very first incarnation of Low Dizzy put on, all the way through to, I mean, this is the last one that I bought, which is the Low Dizzy Intense. So yeah, I wonder why they've decided to change the bottle style. Now I know that this one is actually refillable, so maybe they had problems with making this style or shape of bottle refillable. I don't know. If you know about it or know why, tell me in the comments. But another thing that Issey Miyake has always been famous for is that real pop of yuzu fruit in its fragrances. And that yuzu fruit's kind of like a Japanese lemon sort of fragrance. And yeah, it's present in pretty much every single fragrance in that lineup. And like I got it then straight away. Very smoky, very incensey, very kind of like citrusy, the yuzu. It's kind of a different type of citrus, but it's beautiful. It's a really, really, really nice fragrance. And I use this one when I go to the gym. So I was quite interested and intrigued to see if they'd changed anything in the new Le Sel Issey. So to read the write-up, it says, "The power of salt. The infinite scent of movement from the sea to the land. A vibrant salt accord enhanced by intense woody notes." Where do they think of these things? But does it entice me? Not really. I want to smell it because I'm familiar with the Issey Miyake line. So yeah, I have tried this out, but let's give it a spray now and give you what I get from it. Does it smell like it belongs to the L'Eau d'Issey line? No, not at all. Are there any similarities? Well, I don't really get any similarities. This could be a standalone fragrance, and maybe that's why it's called Le Sel d'Issey rather than another L'Eau d'Issey. I mean, maybe essentially they were trying to update the fragrance if they needed to. But I mean, if you just look at the notes online, you can see that you have the top notes of sea salt and ginger. You definitely get the sea saltiness coming through and a bit of the ginger. You've got the mid notes of seaweed and vetiver. Get the vetiver all day long on this. And then you've got the base notes of cedarwood and oak moss. No yuzu, no incensey smell, no smokiness. It's just not an Issey Miyake fragrance. To me, it kind of goes towards more of like an Acqua di Gio smell. And maybe that's because it's a woody aquatic fragrance and the aquatic smells coming along with the sea salt. But I get it because Acqua di Gio is a very, very popular fragrance. So maybe they've tried to buy into that sort of side of the market, but they had a very popular fragrance in the first place. But this was actually created by Quentin Bish. So he's famous for Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances, Mugler fragrances, Carolina Herrera fragrances, amongst others. So maybe he wanted to bring his own stamp and twist on the Issey Miyake line. I mean, the other thing to note is this is an eau de toilette. It's not an eau de parfum or a parfum. It's just an eau de toilette. Maybe they're planning on bringing out a whole line of it. I don't know. But that to me just seems a bit strange. Anyway, let's go through my ranking system just to see where it sits on a league table for the top men's fragrances. So we'll start off with price. Now, you can get 100 mils of this, of Le Sel d'Issey, for about £100, £101. Now, would I pay that? I don't think I would, because it just doesn't excite me as much as I was hoping it might do. Yeah, it's just different. It's a very good fragrance, very nice, mass appealing fragrance, as I said, close to Acqua di Gio. However, for me, I don't think I would pay £100 for 100 ml of that. So I'd have to give it a 2 out of 5 really, myself. Next is performance. So how does it perform? Now, when I sprayed this when I first got it, it stayed on my skin for just about 6 hours, which for an eau de toilette is quite good. For a fresh eau de toilette, it's quite good. However, it's not great. It's just average, but I suppose for an eau de toilette, it's quite good. So I'd probably give that a 3.5 out of 5. Because I didn't expect it to last that long when I initially sprayed it and smelled the fresh aquatic smell. Okay, so then we go to the projection. Not great. For the first hour, you might get 1.5 foot to 2 foot. Or if you're standing on a nice summer's day on the beach and you're getting a bit of the sea breeze going past you and you've got somebody stood a couple of feet away from you, they might smell you. But not enough for my money, and again, it's probably not meant to be a beast mode sillage creator. So I'm going to give that a 2.5 out of 5. Then we go on to presentation. Now, as I showed you, they've changed the bottle style from the L'Eau d'Issey range. They've now gone with a more cylindrical bottle. Maybe, as I said before, that's because it lends itself to be refillable. I don't know. But why change it? I mean, it's quite smart, but without having it in my hand, I can't tell you fully what I think of it, just from pictures and seeing videos of it. I can only give it a 3 out of 5 really, because I'm a nostalgic so-and-so that quite likes the old funny shaped bottles. Traditionalist, maybe you might say. So yeah, I can only give it the 3 out of 5 really for that. And then how does it smell? Now, no yuzu, no incense, but it's not trying to be a low dizzy fragrance. So when I stand it alone, and it does move towards more of the Acqua di Gio side, which is a mass appealing fragrance, very popular, top selling men's fragrance. So maybe Quentin Bish was thinking, we can't go wrong, go in that sort of direction, and we've got a banger here on our hands. Yeah, it's nice, it's pleasant. Would I rush to the shops and buy a full-size bottle of this for £101? No. But would I buy one at discounters? I might do, but I wouldn't rush out to get it. But it is a very pleasant smell. It's a nice standalone smell. As long as your expectations isn't that it's going to have tons of yuzu popping out of the top, it's a standalone fragrance, then you will like it, I think. But as we know, they're very subjective, these fragrances. So anyway, I'd give this a 3.5 out of 5 for how does it smell. So that's our scale and a grading done. So I'm going to put up now what its total marks are and where it sits within the league table. So, Issey Miyake Le Sel d'Issey. Am I disappointed? In a way, because I was expecting another Yuzu Issey Miyake fragrance. Maybe I shouldn't have. But I go back to what's worked time and time again, what's mass appealing, what's flown off the shelves, what people enjoy. Go back to 1994. A lot of people's first fragrances might be the original L'Eau d'Issey, but it's like saying, when Oasis are coming back in 2025, would you be happy if it was without Noel Gallagher or Liam Gallagher? Well, no, of course you wouldn't. But call me a traditionalist, I'm a sucker for that shape sort of bottle and the yuzu fruit smell that this gives you. That's what Issey Miyake is to me. Not the fragrance that we have here, the Le Sel d'Issey, which is more of an aquatic woody fragrance. It's pleasant, it's very nice. Try it at a tester next time you're in the department store. See what you think of it. Tell me in the comments below what you think of it. But for my money, I'm disappointed. But I'm going to go grab my Brewdog, tropical IPA, and probably forget about Le Sel d'Issey within the next half an hour. But no, thanks for joining me this time. See you soon. Cheers.